Welcome to the channel, everyone. BLN437, and today we are going to be doing the World Series prediction video. This video was supposed to be uploaded yesterday, but work and YouTube got in the way. YouTube wouldn't upload the video while I was at work, and just a whole bunch of random nonsense. But the point is that I'm doing it right now, and I'm having fun while doing so. So, the Houston Astros will be facing the Dodgers in Los Angeles for Game 1 tonight. And as you guys can see, my ranked seasons record, it's 4-5 because I haven't played this game in such a long time. So getting back into ranked seasons has been a bit of a struggle for me, but it is what it is, man. I'll get better at it. I just got to refocus and replay the game. But let's get into the World Series prediction because that's what you guys are here for, not me talking about the game. So we have two solid teams. We got the Dodgers who came in. They beat the Cubs in the National League Championship Series. And we obviously have the Houston Astros who beat the Yankees in Game 7, a great Game 7 played by them. And there's a lot of people here that are going to talk about the Dodgers have the better team. The Dodgers are just a complete, dominant factor against these Houston Astros. Listen, you don't make it to the World Series without being dominant. It's the big key because you think about it. They have Kenley Jansen, you have Tony Zingrani, you have Tony Watson, you have Brandon Morrow, who's emerged as a star in this postseason out of the pen. So they got guys out of that pen that the Astros don't have. I mean, the Astros have Ken Giles and then maybe Davinsky, but Davinsky didn't pitch well in the ALCS, and a couple of other Astro pitchers didn't pitch well in the ALCS, at least bullpen-wise, not starting pitching-wise. But I don't look at that bullpen, and I don't think that scares the Astros. You have to look at the key factor for, like I said, the key factor for the Astros is going to be this: they know that they don't have the bullpen. We all know they don't have the bullpen. Other than Giles, who also had a shaky ALCS. I don't think he's going to be that shaky in the World Series, but he did have a shaky ALCS. He's still good enough to get the job done in the ninth. But the key is going to really be for the Astros is that they know they don't have the bullpen with the Dodgers. They know that they can't match what the Dodgers have in the pen. So Verlander and Keuchel, but it's Keuchel Verlander, I believe it is, have to be dominant. They have to be. I personally believe that Keuchel and Verlander at least have to win 2 games in this series. And you're going to see them twice in this series anyway. So if they can get 7-8 innings out of Keuchel and Verlander, that gives the Astros a chance to win this game. It does. You look at the rotation for the Dodgers. Yes, they can match up with Keuchel and Verlander. You have Kershaw and Darvish. Now, Kershaw has had decent postseason outings, but he hasn't had that great postseason outing yet. As for Darvish had that great game against the Cubs where he was dominant. That's why they got him to be dominant in this time and to be a good 1-2 punch for Kershaw. And it's worked. It's worked out for them. But I trust Keuchel and Verlander enough to at least do what they need to do and get 2 wins in this series, or at least maybe even get them 4. They just need a Yankee type of performance in the sense that if they can get Verlander twice in this series and they can get Keuchel twice in this series and get a win from at least get 3 out of 4 wins from just those 2 alone, you have a shot. Now you have to look at guys like Springer and Reddick that haven't hit at all in the championship series. They need to start getting going now. I mean, this is the time. You can't have George Springer be lost in the World Series. You can't have a Reddick be lost in the World Series. These guys have to hit and they have to produce, and that's going to be another key for the Astros. If they can get those type of if they can get the type of production that they got from Springer all season long, and then the production that they got out of Reddick in the first round against the Red Sox, this team has a shot, man. This team has a shot. They have the offense that matches up well with the Dodgers, and yes, the Dodgers do have a great offense. I mean, we can go up and down their lineup, and they have dangerous names. They have guys like Seager, Bellinger, Puig, Taylor, who's emerged as a star, Turner, guys that just have been great in the postseason, especially Turner. Turner's been great in the postseason for the past 2 years now. So you can't look at Turner no more as a slouch, man. This guy is a clutch player, as clutch can be, and he's gonna get the job done, man. When he gets runners in scoring position, don't believe that Turner can't get that big hit if you miss a pitch. He's not going to be the Yankees. This isn't the type of lineup that the Astros are going to be facing. These guys aren't going to strike out. They're going to get their hits. They're going to make you work, and they're going to try to get the lead to get to their bullpen because they know that if they can get to the bullpen in the 6th or 7th inning, this game's potentially over, man. You got Watson, like I said, Morrow, who's become a big star, and then you have Kenley Jansen as well, who I didn't mention out previously, but he can come in for in the 8th inning and get a 6-out save because he's that dominant of a closer and that elite of a closer. So I look at the chances for the Astros, and I think that they still have a shot. I believe personally that the Astros can win this World Series. I know that there's a lot of people that don't think they can't, but I believe they can. I think they have enough offense and enough in the starting pitching, at least, to win this series. They don't have it in the pen. No, I'll agree with you guys on that. Anybody that wants to sit here and tell me about their pen, yeah, their pen is not. It's not elite. It's not what the Dodgers have, but they have the offense that matches up well with the Dodgers. You got Springer, who has to show up, like I said, Reddick, Correa, and Altuve, who have been great this whole postseason, pretty much. If Marwin Gonzalez could get going, that's another bat. And then Gaddis had a great Game 7. So you look at that, and you hope that carries over into the World Series. And another key for the Astros here, and I know that a lot of people don't like to read into this mumbo-jumbo. They may think it's garbage, they may think it's an excuse, or they may think it's not a factor, but the Dodgers haven't played baseball in about 5 to 6 days. Now, the Astros haven't played in about 2, but it's hard, man. Simulations and all that other stuff. I keep telling people that practice and simulated games mean nothing. It's not the real thing. You don't know what the game plan is for those guys. You can simulate and you can do practice and you can do all this stuff all you want. But when it comes to real in-game action, we're going to see if these guys still have it, man. We're going to be able to see if these guys haven't missed a step yet or if they're a little rusty after the layoff. Some people don't like to look at that, but I look at over the past, I would like to say since 2007, so the past 10 years, let's look at guys that have made it to the World Series quick. You have guys you have teams like the Rockies, Tigers, and the Mets, who all made it to the World Series easily. They pretty much swept the series. The Rockies just completely destroyed the postseason. And then same with Detroit that year that they lost to the Giants, and same with the Giants the Mets when they lost to the Kansas City Royals. They had a lot of time in between, the championship series and the World Series, and I think that hurt them. I think they were a little rusty. I didn't think that they were ready for the game. Now, Game 1 in the Mets series especially was one that kind of cost the Mets that. I think that World Series, I think it set the tone for the Kansas City Royals that we're not afraid of you guys. We can hit your best pitcher out of the pen, which was Familia, who gave up that home run to Gordon to tie the game. And that could be a huge factor for the Dodgers, I think, as well. The Dodgers aren't ready. If there's a little bit of rust, the Astros can take advantage of that. They can. And we'll see. We'll see, actually, if that's going to be a huge factor. I personally think it's a factor in this series. Others may not. Like I said, pen. It's the pen. We all know that the Dodgers have the better pen, and we know that both offense can do damage. The Dodgers, if Seager is able to play well through this injury, he's going to be solid, man. He's going to be great. If he can't, and he can't play, and he's just struggling, and the back is really bothering him, then the Dodgers are not in trouble, because I don't want to say that they are in trouble. Certain people thought that they were going to be in trouble with the Cubs when they didn't have Seager. I don't think there's any trouble. You've seen guys like Taylor just show up, and they played well, and they did what they needed to do, and I trust that Taylor can do the job if Seager can't pick it up offensively for them, because he played well in the championship series. He was the co-MVP of that series. He was dangerous, and he has more than enough talent to do what he needs to do, because you have Taylor, Turner, Bellinger, Puig, who all have been hitting all postseason long. If Seager can add on to that, man, the Dodgers are going to be great. The Dodgers are going to be really great, and this is going to be a great series. I think we're going to be looking at a great series. But I want to say one more thing, actually, here, too, before we kind of go off here. There is one key here for the Astros bullpen, actually, that I didn't think about and I just thought about now. If Lance McCullers can come out of the pen, or Brad Peacock, but preferably McCullers, if he comes out of the pen and he's able to do what he did in Game 7, that's an extra bonus right there for the Astros. I mean, it's just interesting. Obviously, the first 2 games are in LA. I believe the next 3 would be in Houston, and then we go back to LA. I personally believe, and I'm going to give you guys my pick here, I personally believe that the Dodgers will win this series. I think it's going to be a I think it's going to be harder for the Dodgers than I think a lot of people expect it to be. I think everybody thinks that the Dodgers are going to just be able to run away with this thing. I see this series potentially going 6, maybe even 7 games. Honestly, I don't think that Houston is going to give in edgewise, and I don't think that Keuchel is going to have as bad of a performance as he did in his last outing against the Yankees, and I don't think that Verlander is going to just be this guy that can't get the job done. He's tired or whatever it is. I think Verlander will be able to pitch well in this series. I think Keuchel will be able to pitch well in this series. They have to steal at least 1 here in LA. Preferably, I would want to take game 1, kind of put pressure on the Dodgers to win game 2, because if you put pressure on them to win game 2, you potentially have a free win there if they're gonna, come out a little aggressive. They're gonna come out a little kind of just with a sense of urgency, because you don't want to go to Houston down 2-0. The Yankees were down 2-0 going into New York, and you saw how that worked out for them. Just because they won 3 straight doesn't mean you're going to be able to close the Astros out in game 6 or 7, because the Astros are going to come in just blazing for this game. Now, Keuchel is pitching game 1 tonight. Kershaw obviously pitching game 1 as well for the Dodgers. So that's going to be a great pitching performance. At least you would hope so. But usually when we see these marquee pitching matchups, they don't live up to hype. They usually get roughed up. They usually get, it's usually a high-scoring game is really what I'm trying to say here. So we'll see if that's going to happen here tonight. I don't know if it will. I think I want to say Kershaw's going to have this breakout postseason game tonight. This is going to be the game where Kershaw just absolutely destroys the competition. But he hasn't shown it. He hasn't shown it up to this point yet. So I'm gonna say that the Astros win game 1, but I think LA is going to tie the series up going into Houston, and anything can happen when we get to Houston. I mean, anything. But don't count out the Astros, man. And anybody that's counting out the Astros, don't. They have elite starting pitching, and it's something to be said about having elite starting pitching. I know we live in a day and age, at least over the past 2 to 3 years now, where bullpenning has become the key to winning postseason series. But there's still something to be said about starting pitchers that can go 7-8 deep and save a quote unquote iffy pen. Because I believe that the Astros have a good pen. It's just whether Davinsky can show up. If Davinsky can show up, because I don't know where the hell Chris Davinsky has been, but if Davinsky can show up and give them 2 innings out of the pen like he was doing in the regular season, and being a dominant reliever that can get lefties and righties out, then that's even more tools there for the Astros. And I know that I'm giving the Astros a huge feature on this predictions video, but I think that the reason why I have to do that is because we all know how great LA is. We all know that the Dodgers have Seager, Bellinger, Puig, Taylor, Turner, and then they have the pen that has Sangrani, Watson, Jansen, Morrow, and then you have Darvish and Kershaw, and nobody's giving these guys a chance. They just think that the Dodgers are going to completely crush the competition here, but there's something to be said about what Verlander has done this postseason. There's something to be said about what... Excuse me, guys, I'm sorry. There's something to be said about what Verlander has done this postseason. There's something to be said about what Keuchel has done this postseason. And other than that one game, Dallas Keuchel's been amazing in the postseason. So I give the Astros just as much of a chance as I give the Dodgers here. I am going with the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers will win in 6 games. Potentially 7, but I'm going to stick with 6. So if there is a game 7, just remember, guys, in this video I said potentially 7. And I think they're going to be able to pull this off, but I don't think it's going to be as easy. I really don't. I think when they go to Houston, they'll see how strong Houston is. They will. That crowd was electric for game 7, and I expect them to be electric for game 3. Just like I expect LA, who hasn't seen a World Series since 1988, to be loud. So this is going to be an interesting game. Very interesting game. I'm excited for it. I can't wait for this game tonight. Sorry that this predictions video is a little late. I know it was supposed to go up yesterday. Unfortunately, YouTube, just being a bunch of idiots, won't upload my video at the time that I need it to be uploaded. But it's up now, and that's all that matters. So, guys, I will see you guys later on for the Game 1 recap between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment as well. Let me know what you guys think. Who's going to win this series? You guys have the Astros? You guys have the Dodgers? And if so, how many games will it take for one of those 2 teams to win this series? And share this video with all of your friends. And if you are new, don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will be the recap game, or the recap video of Game 1 of the World Series between the Houston Astros and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Later, guys.